we talked to you before the Ranger game, and you talked about if you got into big playoff type games like this. Now you've been in a game late in the season like that. What did you take away from that experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great team game. I thought we played really, really well, so made my job easy playing with Dilly. He made my job super easy. Great to play with him, a lot of fun. But yeah, I think it was a great game. The energy was high, like the atmosphere was incredible. It felt like from the fans at least, felt like a playoff atmosphere. It was a ton of fun, and I thought, yeah, for sure, good experience.
Even in like the month or so between when you'd last been up here, does it feel like the game is tighter than it was even a month ago as you get closer to the playoffs here?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think like the last game I played was against Colorado, and they were really, really good. So I don't know if it felt tighter or not. I think the atmosphere for sure is a little tighter, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
You can clinch a berth with a win tonight. Just what would that mean for this team?
It'd be huge. Talking about it with time left to spare is obviously means you reached your goal a little quicker than the time you had. So I think it would be huge for the group. But yeah, just focusing on the first shift.
How much do you think you could gain from kind of being in play? You talked about it a little with just the games ramping up, but if you're able to like play in playoff games, what do you think that could do for you and the young players on this team?
I think personally it'd be huge, but at the end of the day, like just being here and helping the team in any way is experience and a huge honor for me. But yeah, personally it would be huge, but it's not even on the mind right now. It's a bit of a ways away. We got a lot of big games coming up in that time. We still have to clinch it. I gotta win, but yeah, that would be a ton of fun. Super exciting.
How important has that dynamic of being a young guy with a guy like Dilly paired up been?
Great. I mean, Dilly's the man. I don't have enough. I could say a million. I could talk about him all day right here, but it's a ton of fun. He's talking to me with the whole game, walking me through stuff. There's a lot of little responsibilities out there that his experience and he's given all that wisdom to me. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a ton, and hopefully keep it going.
One of the things talking to him about playing with guys like you, guys like Nemo, right? Like these young defensemen coming in have a lot of that offensive gift as well. How nice is it to sort of have that balance of a different type of player with that wisdom that you're talking about to allow you to grow into your own game?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Dilly, like I was saying before, just the amount of like game situation experience he has. Every situation that we were in against the Rangers, he's seen him a ton of times. So he's just able to offer all that to me and help me slow things down. Each situation we were in, he just kind of had a nice thing to say, and that helped me like face-offs and everything. So it was good. What's
it like when I know you haven't played a ton, but when the game does start slowing down in certain instances? What's that like?
Yeah, I think that's obviously better than when it's going super fast around you. I think that's obviously a lot to do with your partner and the way the team's playing. It's a team game out there, so if the team's not playing well, it's a little hard for things to slow down like that. And I thought, I said we played a really good game as a team. And then, that helps for things to slow down when you're getting pucks in all the right spots, maybe wearing them down a little more. Then things start to open up and slow down, and that's when you can really take advantage, offensively and defensively. And yeah, that's a ton of fun. That's how you want to play hockey all the time. But you got to work for it, and it doesn't come always. So.
Thank you.
One of the things I think I'm always impressed with is, like, even in a game where you spend a decent amount of time in the defensive zone, you take advantage of like the limited offensive opportunities you get. And the Ranger game was a great example of that. You get that chance at the blue end, you find Timo. How are you able to like pivot the brain from defense to offense?
I think like game situation is a huge. You're trying to manage it like you don't want to be taking risks. Up to nothing. But in that situation, I can kind of see that they were defensively a little collapsed, and Timo was wide open. I think anyone would have been able to see that pass. Like it maybe looked nice, but I mean he didn't really have anyone near him. So all up, really just trying to get the puck there flat. But yeah, I think just trying to know the situation of the game and when you can take your chances.
Based on how you had things set up in practice, it looks like you're going to go with that same group again. What did you like about maybe the connection that everyone had in that game?
I just thought the group played well. For the most part, other than special teams, just rolled four lines pretty consistently, like the job the guys did. And 6 defense played well, so I think the group deserves a chance to go back at it.
We talked after the last game sort of about that 5-on-5 play was pretty even between the two teams. What maybe do you need to see to generate a little bit more on that 5-on-5 play?
Yeah, I mean, it just, I think as we referenced the other day, we had some, I would categorize as almost chances, if we just execute a little bit better and a little bit cleaner on the last play or the last pass, or maybe it's not a pass and it's being decisive and shooting the puck and challenging the net more consistently. It's just a balance of that. But, I think we also have to embrace the fact that it's going to be a low event hockey. That's kind of the way that it is for us right now. I think if there's one area where we've had to adjust or just embrace and recognize is losing Jack. It's he's such a producer of offense for us, and without him, we're not going to produce as much. That's just a reality of it. It doesn't mean you can't win games, as we've been showing here. You just have to embrace the fact that it's low event. You got to be that much better defensively, and then you got to execute on the chances that you do get.
How much have you liked about the work the bottom six has done to help spur those top two lines, and on occasion maybe score a few and get their own offensive chances?
Yeah, I've liked it. And even if it's not leading to necessarily to offense, you feel like it could come. You feel like just got a little more pace, a little bit more tape to tape play with our puck play, yet also not taking a step back defensively and still forechecking and doing all those things that are required. So, I've liked it. I like Dowling with Tatar and Palat. I think their skill set in terms of their tenacity off of the puck and each of their ability to hang on to the puck, I think is a good mix for those three. And then the Sprong, Cotter, and with Glass coming back in, that group, I think, has got some real potential, to hang on to the puck and make some plays and attack the net. So I like the mix. That's why you give it another chance to go tonight.
Is there any significance, Coach, to maybe winning a fourth straight game and at the same time clinching, getting a playoff berth here at home?
Yeah, I think it's something that as you go through the season and the schedule, like you're always kind of looking for a narrative to attach to and something to embrace for the day, and so it's something for us. We've earned the opportunity through 77 games of being in a position here to clinch a playoff position. So we want to win every single game, and we have a game here today that just so happens. There's a reward for us there, something that we've been working towards. So you have that, and we've been talking about consistency as a team and continuing to build our game and push through and not take steps backwards. And there's another threshold for us to push through today in terms of continuing to stack up wins. So I think it's right there in front of us. We just got to go out and put the work in.
This team had a lot of changes going into the year. New coach, new goalie, a lot of new players. Just how important is kind of setting the standard of making the playoffs to this team this year and going forward?
Yeah, it's huge. You want to compete for a Stanley Cup, and you don't have a chance to do that until you can clinch your spot in the tournament. That's kind of the way that it works. So we need to we have been, I should say, focused on that. And it's been kind of up and down. Hasn't been a straight line all season, but we've put ourselves in a position to be one of those teams that can clinch a spot. So we like that. That is absolutely the standard. It's something to build upon. You can't be a consistent playoff participant until you get there. Once the team did it a couple of years ago and then wasn't able to sustain that and get back, and that's something we want to be able to do, but we got to take the first step first. So that's where we're at here, and for that I feel good about our group, but we've got some work left to be done here.
Sheldon, obviously, Seamus Casey's offensive production has stuck out, but a lot of parts of his game that he's been working on and rounding out. What improvements have you seen each time he's gone down to Utica and then come back up here in terms of rounding out those other areas?
Quite honestly, I wouldn't say I've seen a whole lot Quite honestly, I think he's been the same kind of confident offensive player in the offensive blue line. I thought last game he showed some real hesitance and struggled to get the puck moving out of our end, which has been a thing and something that we're continuing to talk to him about, needing to be better at. The more experience that he gets in the league, the more confidence that will come with that. I think the offensive side of the red line comes very natural to him. It's the other part of it, making plays under pressure. Forecheck pressure in the NHL is substantial, and you got to be able to find your way through that. So that's something we'll be continuing to look at here today.
On a similar note, how valuable has it been to have a guy like Brendan Dillon that you can pair with him or with Shimon Nemitz that can almost be a coach on the bench with them each time they come back from a shift down?
Huge. Yeah, that's why you add veteran players, that can help sort of speed up the development of your younger guys, insulate them a little bit. Whether that's through their own play or, as you say, the leadership and talking to them and helping them get comfortable and confident, maybe some cases sort of decipher some of the coaches' messaging for them or talk to them about any tendencies, from players they're playing against or teams they're playing against because of their experience in the league. So I think it's invaluable, and we've certainly seen the benefits of that.
Dougie Hamilton's back skating. Is there any chance he could be back in the first round at any point?
Yeah, I think there's a chance. Yeah, it's just a matter of how he continues to progress here in the next while. Obviously, there's not that much time between now and then, but he is on the ice, which is a positive sign. There's been no discussion at this point yet of him joining the team, which speaks to the fact that he's not where he needs to be, but. I think obviously that's a significant checkpoint for us that's on the horizon, and he and our group will do everything possible, and we'll just have to see where we're at.
Thank you, Sheldon.